AIT. If you're watching this video, you're probably planning on joining as an 88 mic once you completed basic training.
Sir, I look like a damn officer to you. Don't look at me.
You'll go to Fort Leonard Wood and go to 88 mic school. So what you'll be learning there, you'll learn how to drive two main vehicles, the two basic vehicles that you'll be driving around. Depending on your unit, you'll be driving what they call the LHS, and you also learn how to drive the typical semi truck with the fifth wheel. I believe it's the 975, I believe. So you'll be practicing how to use the LHS, using the hook arms, be learning how to hook up the fifth wheel to the trailer and driving it around. Depending what unit you go, it's gonna decide whether you're gonna be driving the LHS, PLS, or the HET and the LET. So for my unit, I just drive, the LHS and the PLS a lot. I never drove the semi truck, the 975, the HET, the LET. But you can be in a different story. You can go to your unit and end up driving the HET. This is a 6-week course. You won't be having a whole lot of freedom due to the course being so short. There are certain MOSs that allow you to go off base. So usually the ones that are longer than 88 mic AIT. For example, I was a 91 Delta, my first contract, and I was able to go off base in like my second or third week. It was a 9-week course. But once I hit that goal phase, once I passed like a test, I can't remember right off the bat what test it is. I believe it is about regulations. But once we passed that, we were able to wear civilians and go off base as long as we bring a battle buddy with us.
Where's your battle buddy?
We had a certain radius, I believe it was 50 mile. With 88 mic AIT being 6 weeks long, the instructors or someone hired and then decided, to take away those privileges. You will only be able to go to the PX at most. That's if the drill sergeants allow you to. You'll be going, around in uniform, OCPs, and your Camelback and battle buddies. And you got to be back a certain time. I think it's like 1600, 1700, I believe. So you have time to go eat chow, march to chow and stuff. Also, I think I threw it away, but the red book, you're going to be learning that. It's going to have all the information under that you'll need during the final test. The red book test, they call it. So yeah, it's pretty basic stuff. Also, you will be learning how to PMCS vehicles. So doing the paperwork that checks how the vehicles are, if there's any issues with it, you're writing down on the paperwork on the 5988 and giving it to the mechanics so they can work on it. Or, if you're tech savvy, maybe you can help them out as well. You will be learning how to dispatch vehicles as well. In the Army, you're going to have to, what they call dispatch, get a bunch of paperwork before you're able to drive outside the motor pool gate, or the dock, you might call it. So you'll be learning the basics of that as well, as you'll be doing that a lot. PMCS and dispatch is going to be the biggest stuff you'll be doing in your unit. You'll find out once you get over there. You also learn the basics of strapping down loads with 5Ks and 10Ks. You will learn the basics of those. You'll get tested for it. If you have CDL experience, at least 2 years, you're able to prove it. You're going to be able to skip the last week. So it's going to be a 5-week course, but it's only 1 week, it's pretty short in my opinion. So, not any fuss about it. For I reclassed, I was in the reserve. I switched from active to reserve. I did a little CDL driving. It wasn't enough to get waivered to get 1 week off, but it's only 1 week long. Will you be able to have your phones? I was a prior service. I was able to have my phone, but with if you're going to be new going to that AIT, you won't be, privileged to have your phone only a certain amount of times. It's almost same like basic, but a little bit more freedom. You'll have fire guard there still. Once you get a basic, you understand what fire guard mean. You're going to be pulling security, 1 hour a day. Will you be able to wear civilians? No, you won't be able to wear civilians during this 88 mic AIT course. How many roommates will you have at the 88 mic AIT? You'll be having somewhere around 3 roommates once you get there. Make sure you don't lose your driver license. You're going to check your driver license every evening. They call it total line. They're going to check 2 things, your driver license and your CAC. So make sure you don't lose that. If you lose it, you'll probably get recycled or reclassed, because you need your driver license to become, to go through the 88 mic school. So will you be doing PT there? Of course, you'll be doing PT there. You're in the Army. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you'll be doing physical training there every morning. Same thing like in basic training. You'll be marching everywhere. You'll be marching to the DFAC, marching to school. Marching everywhere with your camelback and everything. If you like to use nicotine and alcohol, just hold it off for 6 weeks. You won't be allowed to use nicotine and alcohol there. There are people that use nicotine, they get away with it, but I wouldn't do that if I were you. Just hold off on it, because if you get caught, you will get in trouble for it.
Well, now, let's just see if there's anything missing. Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that? What is that, Private Pile?
Just hold off on it till you get to your unit. If you're reserve, hold off on it till you get to your reserve unit. If you're active duty, hold off on it till you go to your active duty unit. For orders for the active duty personnel, from what I remember, if you don't have a unit, when you first sign up, orders to go to your unit, you should expect to see orders around the 3rd to the 6th-week mark. Expect to see orders during that time. You won't see it when you first go there. So yeah, this is the basics that I can think of. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments, or maybe I'll make another video of this. Also, if you have any more questions of the 88 mic AIT, look up online. There's other people explaining this. Just search it up online. Go look through Reddit as well. That's about it.